think of your debut?
I thought I did some good things. So I thought I did some not so good things, but that pretty much happens every game. I thought I played well overall though, and I think we just got to do a better job of getting the quarterback on the ground. But it was tough with Jalen being so athletic and him getting out the pocket so much. So no, overall I'm happy with my performance.
You had the 3 early pressures, none after that. Did they do something differently to handle you? Was it just Hurts, escaping away from you?
No, I don't think it was anything different. I think it was just the flow of the game. Sometimes you get the opportunities, sometimes you don't. And, I think I was getting them early.
How much do you play the long game, like when it comes to being a pass rusher? Does week 1 set up something in week 10? Are you conscious of not showing too much early, or does that sort of
I don't think so right now. In terms of the long game, I think, you look at the season, we got 16 more games, so we got a lot more football left. So in terms of that, I'm preparing for the long game, just trying to stay healthy and just continue to play at a high level.
in terms of
Yeah, not in terms. No, you're not. You're not leaving anything out. As of now, I don't think.
Coach Campbell talks about how the biggest improvement for a lot of these guys are from year 1 to year 2. If we break that down to games, do you think that you might have the same from game 1 to game 2? That type of improvement now that you know what it's going to take.
No doubt, no doubt. I think it's going to be every game, And I know when I look back at my game 1 film, when we're in week 10, week 17, I'm going to be very happy with my development.
Yeah, after chasing Hurts around that field last week, what's the excitement like to get after maybe a less mobile quarterback?
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. But Carson's still a mobile guy, but definitely Jalen. He was pretty athletic. He was getting out that pocket a lot. But so it'll be good to have a little fresh start and get after it again.
Despite how you feel about your performance on game 1, how was your NFL debut? Can you describe your experience on your first snap? What was going through your head?
Yeah, it was fun, and to be home for my NFL debut was fun. That it was with a sold-out crowd. It was rocking in there when we were playing well. So, it was really cool, to be honest with you.
How conscious are you of all the 97s in the crowd?
I see him, especially pregame. During the game, not so much, but you walk around, just try to look at the crowd a little bit, and you see a lot of 97s. I think it's pretty damn cool.
Did you have jitters at all, like first game jitters, or even first snap? Like, was there anything
Your typical game butterflies, to be honest with you, but nothing too jittery. I usually don't get too jittery out there.
Can you put into words what it was like playing out there in NFL speed as opposed to what you saw in the preseason?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty much the same as preseason. I didn't really see too much of a difference. Obviously, with the crowd being more into it, I think things felt like they were moving faster, but not really. But
how often do you think of the plays where you almost had Hurts and he escapes last second? Like, do you bring those home with you, or do you flush them right
yeah,
away?
you got it. Yeah, I lose my mind a little bit over those, so I gotta move on pretty quick from those, just because I can eat myself alive. So you gotta move on, and there's gonna be a lot more opportunity in the future.
How quick is quick though? Like next play? Are you on the sideline?
Oh no, it's gonna take a night. It's gonna be a night for sure, and then come Monday morning, you gotta just swallow that pill.
Well, what do you have to rush different when you have a quarterback like when it's like with Hurts? Like, do you have to? Is there any hesitation just to be conscious of that zone?
Yeah, I think so. I think early in the game, I think personally I realized it. So it was just a matter of trying to keep him in front of you and keep him in the pocket, just because it felt like he just got his eyes down. He was just looking for that open gap. So I think definitely as we were going throughout the game, I was just getting more conscious of keeping him in the pocket.
And so for this week, how much does that excite you then to be able to just
Right. No, it's great. Yeah, I think guys like Jalen and Lamar and kind of mobile quarterbacks like that, it's always in the back of your mind. But definitely this week, we can have that more aggressive mindset as a defensive line.
AG said one of the issues he saw on the tape was some guys maybe overextending or trying to look too hard to do too much. Do you feel like that was the case for you or not?
I didn't think I was trying to do too much. I think some plays I may have gotten a little excited and you know, saw an opportunity that wasn't mine to take. But you know, that's all a part of it. You know, and I'm gonna make some mistakes, and you know, I gotta live with that, and I gotta move on. So yeah, you know, I just think it's just getting a little excited. You know, I when I feel what's coming, but you know, it just kind of happens sometimes.
Aidan, your sister threw out the first pitch at the Tigers game yesterday. Whose pitch do you think was better, yours or hers?
I think hers was better. I think I tell you what, I cannot play baseball, so I can't throw a baseball at all, and I think hers was a little closer to the center. I mean, I threw mine like all the way up there, so she did a good job. She did a good job. That's right.
Just back to what Kyle asked. I don't know, what is the balance, I guess, that you have to strike, right? Because you want to make plays, right? That's part of who you are, right? So
right.
What is the fine line that you're walking there when you're trying to make that play versus knowing my assignment?
Right. Yeah, I think it's just knowing when you got your opportunity, you got to make it. But when it's not yours, you try to force it. You know, sometimes not good things happen. And I think that's kind of my mentality with it, is when I have an opportunity, I bet on myself to make it. So, yeah.
And specifically that first play, I mean, Aaron said the very first one was an example of that, right? Where you were supposed to maybe.
Yeah, I should have been a little more patient, but I crashed a little too fast on that running back. But you know, it was a 10-yard gain, I think. So it was one of those, you make a mistake 10 yards, but you know, you just got to keep coming. And but yeah.
But people understand it, right? I mean, it's your first play. Like you're on a
right.
Right? You're to be anxious or to
yeah,
be
and
I guess makes sense. Like,
you know, yeah, I mean. It was a 10-yard gain, so I'm not. You know, it wasn't like it was like if it was like an 80-yard touchdown, I'd be a little more worried about it. But you know, stuff like that happens sometimes. But you know, you just got to move on and then not do it again.
What do you see on the tape from Washington's offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, I think every NFL offensive line that we see, you know, they're very talented. But you know, obviously we're gonna try to get after it as a defensive line and continue to stay aggressive with our rushes, especially our 4-man rushes, and you know, just getting after it with you know, with everything.
With Malcolm, when you see him hip tossing someone on film, what's that like to see someone so aggressive and so young playing the linebacker position?
Yeah, it's great to see. You know, Malcolm's really playing well right now, so I'm glad he's on my team. You know.
Coach Glenn said that on the game you're disappointed but encouraged. You echo those sentiments?
Yes. Definitely, you know, comparing to last year when we played the Eagles, just, you know, almost felt like we just came in like unprepared a little bit. This, you know, last week we were really prepared. We focused in on the run, you know, getting them the third down and long. We just, you know, a couple little details and, you know, a little execution here or there. Feel like it would have swung our way, but definitely encouraged by the way we fought. By the way we played, you know, physically up front. So, yeah, I could definitely echo that.
How do you build on that going into Washington?
Just not letting us beat us twice. I kind of said that after the game. You know, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs within the season. Don't allow the losses to beat you twice. Come in, you know, kind of trash the game and focus on the Commanders. And that's kind of what I did, kind of what all the coaches were echoing all this week and what we're coming out to do.
A lot of times I've heard a lot of guys talk about how it was really just some of the details that had to be cleaned up. Mm-hmm. Is that an easy thing when everybody knows that they have to do it?
It's easy to do in practice when the lights aren't on, but when the lights are on and you're going and it's for real, you know, sometimes you lose sight of, you know, the little, you know, minute little detail you might have, either that's containing a quarterback or, you know, it might be a communication between you and the outside guy, and you hearing that call, something like that. So most of the time it's just, you know, those little things.
What about Washington's offensive line and the run game that they have? Obviously formidable.
Yeah, definitely formidable, and that's anybody in this league. But like I said, we're moving past the Eagles and we're focusing on the Commanders, and that's what we've been doing, man. Focusing on our fundamentals, our keys. Definitely up front, I can speak, is, you know, we were focusing on knocking the run game out, making them one-dimensional and stuff like that, so it can play into our hands.
A little different challenge at quarterback this week. bigger arm, but he's a little easier to find.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a guy who's going to get out as fast. You know, he can still run. He can get out and hurt you, but he's not going to get out as fast as a guy last week. So we're looking forward to rushing it a little bit, getting after it up front, you know, long down and distances.
How do you balance?
Go ahead.
How do you balance the task up front when you want to make them one-dimensional in the air, but with the weapons are pretty good with Washington too? So how do you balance not pushing them too far into that pass game that's really good?
It just, you know, correlates between the rush and the back end. You know, we always talk about rush and cover works hand in hand. So if you got good rush up front who is pressuring the quarterback and he has to make quick decisions, and you got the secondary who's communicating and they're on top of, you know, their guys, usually it turns out to be good in the defensive advantage. So usually if you have that, it'll turn out good for you.
Is this one of those situations where you're happy that you have so many guys getting reps and rotating through the defensive line, because it seems now it's like almost a plug-and-play thing?
Yeah, I mean, when you got good depth behind you, man, you can just roll guys in, and we're definitely focusing on making sure everybody knows what to do, and there's no let-off. If, you know, a guy gets hurt, goes down, anything happens, you can plug a guy in, and he's on top of his game. So that's what we've been kind of focusing on, you know, over this season, over this training camp, just making sure our depth behind, you know, some of the starters knows what to do, and when they come in, it's the same effort, it's the same execution as you know, would the starters go.
Hutch had his rookie debut. How did he do from your vantage point?
I mean, the same. I mean, I was a first-round guy, went into the game and was like, this is the NFL. Like, everybody's good. And that's kind of a sense that you got, you know. He wasn't overwhelmed, but it was just like, everybody's good in this league. You're not going to be able just to power over a tackle and make all the plays you think you're going to make. So it's definitely a thing about, man, playing a team defense, doing your job, making sure you do your job and you're executing the things that you're supposed to do, and everything else to play out like it plays.
How's the knee feeling today?
Feeling all right. I went out there, got after it today just to push myself. It felt good. You know, the day's rest on Wednesday really helped. I felt really good today, so I'm looking forward to playing Sunday.
We hear Dan Campbell talk a lot about how the biggest improvement is from year 1 to year 2. If you break it down to a game-by-game thing, is there most improvement from game 1 to game 2 with you guys this year?
I believe so, and the reason why I say that is because you have more guys that know what to do and what the standard is. You know, a lot of guys, you know, off from last week, and especially defensively, we have no turnovers. We want to get after the ball. We want to force some turnovers, get the ball back for our offense, because our offense has been looking phenomenal, you know, off of game 1, scoring 35 points. So, you know, when you got your offense scoring 35 points, you usually want to win that game. So defensively, we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves to give the ball back to the offense so they can have as many opportunities that they can to score.
You've been through this a number of times, NFL seasons. Does the sense of urgency go up when you lose that first game? Try to avoid that 0-2 start, particularly when you got 2 straight at home to start.
I wouldn't say the sense of urgency. It's just everybody knows. Everybody knows. Nobody wants to lose a game. You know, we don't go out there to lose a game. It's just, you know, it's a long season. You lose one, just don't, like I said before, just don't let it beat you twice, man. Come in focus on what we have to do, what our execution is this week, what the game plan is this week, because it changes from week to week. Now we're in the season. So just focusing on the game plan this week and executing. I mean, I know it's cliche, but, I mean, if you pull all the layers off of it, you bring it back down to fundamentals, that's where it is.
Sort of process before results.
Yes, for sure.
It's every play before you worry about what that final.
Hey, one play at a time, 1 week at a time, you know. You just take it as it rolls, you know.
That's that chopping wood that AG talks about.
Hey, you can't focus down the line, man. You got to focus on one play at a time. Focus on the practices, how we executing in practice, how we communicating in practices. Then that'll lead to the games.